What's up guys, Yusuf here bringing you another DCEU video. Today I want to talk a little more about the new Elseworlds standalone film and how it could potentially affect the current DCEU films. Quick recap, last week a report from Deadline stated that WB and DC is in early development of an Elseworlds standalone Joker origin film set in 80s Gotham, with Martin Scorsese likely to produce. As stated, it's not a part of the DCEU. This is something that is new when it comes to the cinematic universe era. Warner Brothers is the first studio to have an established cinematic universe of comic book characters and think of having a separate film universe of an already present character in the Joker. Yes, Marvel has the MCU and Fox Marvel Universe films, but in the end, it's not the same thing, seeing as Fox is a separate studio from the MCU father studio Disney and its underlying entity Marvel Studios. Warner's houses both the DCEU and this potential standalone. So, what does that mean for the DCEU? First off, people like to say that the audience would be confused. Yes, some would be, but honestly, what does it matter? People were confused about Rogue One and if it was a sequel to The Force Awakens. And when those people were confused, they would be corrected by someone or just look up the information. Believe it or not, there are people that don't know the MCU and X-Men films aren't under the same banner and universe. A lot of people are not, versed in this type of information, and a lot of them honestly just don't care. They just like to go to the movies. Yes, they recognize the different studios, but at the same time, they don't really sit back and think, okay, this is a Fox film. The MCU, the Iron Man movies, those are Marvel, those are Disney films. Because a lot of them just really don't care. They just like to go to the movies. So don't worry about people being confused if it's in the DCEU or not. It honestly does not matter in the end. Next, the character of the Joker. Now, as I say not to worry about audience confusion, there is nothing we can do about the inevitable slew of varying opinions from both the general audience and comic book fans and critics when it comes to the two competing Jokers. While people will accept and recognize that they are both separate, there will still be those who want to immediately rank the Jokers and pit them against one another. Whoever is cast to play the new Joker in the origin film will have expectations on his shoulders, from strong Jared Leto fans and haters, Heath Ledger purists, and people who love all adaptations of the Joker. He will have a lot to live up to. Plus, if the actor completely knocks it out of the park and is amazing, the headlines and comment sections will read, "Why isn't this the Joker we got in Suicide Squad?" Of course, Martin Scorsese is able to create a better Joker than Warner Brothers and DC by themselves. And you may even get a little bit of, will Warner Brothers replace Leto with a new actor, or maybe even this Joker actor? As a Joker Leto fan, I'm not worried. I know my opinion and I don't really care what anyone says. I thought Leto was good, and I'm excited about the potential future of the character and how much better he can be. With that said, I hope the actor in the origin film is great and he can be added to the pantheon of great Joker incarnations and actors. Another scenario involves WB not being worried about confusion, backlash, and the headlines, and they treat these new line of standalone films as a part of the multiverse that DC is legendary for. Even though it'll have the tags of Elseworlds and Standalone, that can still be the case. The film will have no effect story-wise on the DCEU and vice versa, but all it takes is a producer, director, or Johns to say that it is a part of the DC Multiverse, meaning the DCEU is currently on another Earth in reality while this standalone film is on the other. They don't affect one another, but they are under the same banner in the multiverse. While I have a positive outlook on the situation, it cannot go understated how it could also negatively affect the DCEU. First off, by the sound of this, the film probably won't even get made until 2020 or 2021, if that. So the DCEU still has Aquaman currently filming, Shazam in pre-production, Wonder Woman has a script being written, and the Batman standalone is slated to happen still. Those are facts. So the DCEU could at that time have found its footing and be a well-established universe and a cash cow when it comes to the box office. But if things are still kind of rocky, there's a chance WB could push the DCEU aside or put it on the shelf and get back to individual superhero related films, allowing the directors and writers to have much more creative freedom and expression. We really have to wait until. It really isn't fair to just pile all of this on at once and set those expectations in uproar of speculation. So let's give it a few months, maybe a year, before we beg for answers on this film. But guys, what's important is hearing your thoughts. Go ahead and hop in the comments and tell me what you think about all of this. Do you think the standalone film could affect the DCEU or not? Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button along with the bell so you can get notified when we post new DCEU content.